welcome back, you guys. Hope you've all been doing well. Just a quick reminder, I have been wanting to add in another game for me to cycle through and play. I'm still going to be playing Tsukihime, Fate, Rewrite, non-area games with demo. So those aren't going anywhere. I just want to add another one in. So I did make a poll. You can either find it in my Discord, or if you hit the community tab on my YouTube, I made a post about it. There's a link there you can click and you can pick your two favorites. It's gonna end, actually, let me see when it ends officially. Because I made it so it could last, about a week, so everyone gets a chance to vote. When does this expire? Let me see. It expires in about 3.5 days. So you have 3.5 more days to vote, if that interests you. But anyways, you okay, Titi? Sorry, my cat's coughing. Hi Mochi, how are you? With that being said, we are on Seal's route. I am gonna... Hold on one sec. Red scenes auto skip. No. There was something I clicked off because we crash a lot. Tsukihime time. Hi Ivan. There's something I turned off where... Oh, there's a scroll bar. Fuck, I don't remember what it was, where I could skip unread text because technically we had read it, but the game didn't know that because it crashed. So I'm trying to turn that off because we're doing a new route. Kind of iffy these days. I hope you're doing good though. I've been doing awful, but we live on, so I'm sorry you're not doing too good. Let's see. Controls. I don't want the controls. What am I I don't know which one I'm looking for. What would be the fast forward? Red. Oh, that's probably it. I think that's what I'm looking for. Only fast forward through the red. I think that's what I was looking for. Okay, so new route. Oh, should I? Right? It's a new game, right? So yeah, we're gonna... Shiki wakes up in the hospital. His Faza just threw him there after his adoptive brother tried to kill him. So on and so forth. He sees lines. Go to flowchart? Hi, Anya. Now the question is, how do I do flowchart? Oh, flowchart. It's not yet available. Okay. Let's go to the title screen then. I'm really sorry to hear that. I think stuff's just been stressful for a lot of us these days. That's what good old VNs are for. It's very true. Do I load? No. It wouldn't let me do the flowchart. So... should I just load my old game? And then do the flowchart? Yeah, you load the save? Oh, okay. Alright, day 14. Well, this is not going to stay for long. Alright. Alright, can I? There we go. Alright. Well, let's go all the way back to the beginning. Here we go. This is our first choice, right? I assume we go here. And go to where Shiki discombobulate arc? Huh? The goat Anya showing us the what? Discombobulate art? What does that mean? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm just gonna... The end of the familiar routine. I assume it's just gonna be right there, right? I mean, I have a guide. It says, where's my guide? Chapter 1, the morning on the way home. That's where it starts, so I'm just gonna go with that. Yes. Morning of homecoming. I see. I think this is where I start, because it's the first choice. You can go with the guide. I'm just gonna do that for now. Alright, we are on the train. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what was going. We've already read up. We're just getting to the choice. And then it should be new stuff, I imagine. There's Seal. There we go. On some better news, my weight loss still going good. Down 73 pounds in 3 months. That's great. Congratulations. Alright, what do I have to pick? A small question arose in my mind. Goddamn translation. You can start the choice where Shiki mutilated Arkwood if he feels too long. So all the choices before that don't matter. I imagine we're gonna pick other things though, right? And maybe we'll see new scenes. I think it wants me to pick the question one. But we might get new I don't know. Well, let me save here first of all. I think it's the second one. Is this the one I picked last time? That's ironic. Alright, well I picked that one last time. Next choice. That's the girl we saw on the train. I remember that. It's gonna be a little and then we'll get into it. Yeah, it's rough. Dude, we haven't been in school in so long. I like this dude, though. Okay, I have seen a few memes of that girl who popped, this girl right here. I wasn't spoiled too much, and I don't think we're gonna see much of her in the remake yet. But all I know is, maybe I shouldn't say anything. I'll think about it when I get into the hallway. Figure it out in the hallway. There we go. Is this new? Oh, it is new! Okay, new scene already. There we go. So it's lunch break. And the corridor is filled with a jumble of students headed this way and that. Most of them are on their way to the cafeteria, but some are going to visit their friends' classes with lunchboxes, or making their way to the courtyard or gym. Losing myself in the crowd, I wonder if I should have a proper lunch in the cafeteria or just buy a sandwich or something at the store. At the end of the corridor, I see the familiar figure of Senpai. White woman spotted. Is it my imagination? Or is she coming straight towards me? So all I really know about Seal is she probably likes curry because Chie Sensei and Higurashi loves curry, and Chie is based off of Seal. 2, she's with the church. And 3, she might have something to do with Shiki's past. I think I remember him saying that. That's all I know about Seal. Hello, healer. How are you? How's it going? We just started, so we're just on. I'm doing Seal's route now, and this is the second choice we make, but the first choice we made, apparently I picked that last playthrough, so we already read through that. So this is the first fresh new scene we're seeing.
よかった。探してたんですよ、遠野くん。教室にお邪魔する手間が省けちゃいました。
That's what I'm all about, saving time.
こんにちは、シエル先輩。
For some reason, I feel embarrassed and reply with a lackluster greeting.
はい、こんにちはです。 でも私たち今日はもう会っていますから、こんにちはというのは正しくないですね。
うん、そういえばそうでした。
I look away, feeling more and more embarrassed. Why is that, I wonder? Because you're a pussy chic. Well, okay, no, you're not that much of it. Well, sometimes you are. I don't know, man. I should be used to talking to Senpai, but today I'm unusually conscious of her. I wonder if it's because she saw me absorbed in my thoughts this morning.
遠野くん？どことなく落ち着きがありませんけど、何か急用でもあるんですか？
いえ、急ぎの用はないです。全然。
I can't just admit to her I'm fascinated by every little move she makes.
それより先輩。
Respectfully, she's not arguing. I'm not going crazy. I like to think Shiki is moving around like Mario's speedrunner when we fast forward. That's so funny.
はい、朝ちょっとしたご迷惑をかけてしまったでしょ。そのお詫びがしたくてずっと探していたんです。
朝の迷惑って。ああ、電車の話？でもあれは迷惑というより役得というか。
It was fun talking with her. It felt like the trip to the station just flew by as a result.
でもうるさくしすぎて女の子に怒られたじゃないですか。
I wonder who that girl is.
そのお詫びです。つかぬことをお聞きしますけど、遠野くんはこれからお昼ご飯ですか？
I do mind you asking me. I'm just kidding.
ですよ。食堂に。
Gee, I wonder what we were doing during the lunch period. Like, come on, girl. You're smarter than that. Okay, but okay, to be fair, maybe she already knew that. She's looking for a way to ask him. So I'm sorry, I'm being too judgy, alright? I just remember that you're against my wife, so it's like, it's kind of hard for me. You know, I gotta relax, you know, let those judgments go, give her a chance.
よかった。それならご一緒できますね。朝のお詫びにおごっちゃいますから、これから食堂に行きましょう。
Wait, buying me free food. Alright, you're winning over some points. With a smile on her face, she grabs my arm and starts walking. She's so happy. A third-year student is standing in the second year's hallway. Oh, standing in the second year's hallway is already enough to stand out, but this is really gonna turn some heads. All the students in the hallway are looking her way and busily whispering amongst themselves. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a bit too much of a Sagittarius for Japan. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Can I fucking help you? What are you looking at, bitch? Why the fuck are you looking at me? Do you got something to say? Say it to my face! You jealous I'm with this woman and you're not? Huh? That's what you're whispering about? Realizing that I'm blushing, I extricate myself from Senpai's arm. Oh my god.
おお、それは聞き捨てなりませんね。謝るべきは遠野くんの方だったと。つまりその罰として遠野くんは私のお願いを一つ聞いてくれるとか。
Play him like a fiddle girl. Her teasing glances make my already red cheeks even redder.
今のは言葉のあやでですね。
Oh my god, how's he blushing this easily?
では観念して私を食堂に連れて行ってください。
Give it up.
今日は誰かとランチしたい気分だったんです。運が悪かったと思って私におごられてください。
That's just unfair. If someone smiles at me like that, I can't possibly say no.
はあ、おごられてってそれも逆ですよ。
だって私が楽しかったのは本当ですから。それでは食堂に急ぎましょう。早くしないと席が埋まっちゃいますからね。
She takes my hand again and walks briskly down the corridor. You know what? A woman who knows what she wants, I can respect. But just leave Arcuit alone. That's all I'm gonna say. Just leave my woman alone. Granted, I don't think she's going to in this route, realistically, but we must have beaten the crowds, as there are plenty of open tables in the cafeteria. Though there is a sizable queue at the counter already, It shouldn't take more than about 5 minutes or so to order.
私が並びますから、遠野くんは席を確保しておいてください。嫌いなメニューはありますか？あるのでしたら、今のうちに聞いておきますけど。
That's really considerate of her, actually.
いえ、ないです。食べ物に好き嫌いはありま
I
せん。
am unfortunately an extremely picky eater, and I hate it. I don't. Oh, my alarm. Go away. I don't do it. People get mad at me sometimes. They're like, ugh, I hate picky eaters. And it's like, dude, I didn't design my own taste buds, okay? I'm not doing this to be difficult. I don't like it either. It would be, my life would be so much easier if I wasn't picky. I could just eat whatever the fuck is in front of me, but that's not the case.
大変結構な返答です。それではパパッと行ってきますね。
Without waiting for my reply, she gets in line to order. I guess I'll have to accept that I'm being treated to lunch today.
2人分の空席。できるなら角がいいな。
Fucking loner. I say that, but I do the same thing. I'm not sure if my mind can handle this whole situation of having lunch with her. If I am gonna have lunch with her, I'd prefer to sit in a place where we can't be seen by many people. Looking around the cafeteria, I see there are some empty seats in the middle, but the corner seats are all taken. At this hour, there are no corner seats for 2 people.
あった。
However, the table's about to be occupied by a familiar face.
よー、殿、こっちだこっち。
An orange-haired delinquent. You can't call him a delinquent when you're a murderer, Shiki. I don't like fried beans. I don't know if I've ever had fried beans, actually. I probably have. I mean, I live in California. Is waving his hand in the air with no regard at all for the stares of the people around him. What a headache. That's not a, why is that a headache? He doesn't give a fuck what people think. I admire that. That's my kind of guy. That said, ignoring him would be rude, and there are no other empty corner seats. In a way, he is a man who could keep people away. I suppose it's my duty as his friend to take advantage of his useful qualities. Take advantage? Man, Shiki, you suck
お
sometimes.
せえ。今日は特別ゲストが来るって言ってなかったか？のんびり重役出勤してんじゃねえですよ。
ああ、そういえばそんなこと言ってた。で、その特別ゲストはどこに？
それがな。昨日からスケジュールを抑えていたっつうのに、今朝になって断られた。なんでもお詫びをしたい人がいるから、今日の昼食は忙しいんです。だと。
Oops, I didn't mean to cut him off. His shoulders slump in disappointment as he eats his chikara udon. I don't know what chikara means. I know what udon is.
お詫びをしたい人。
Udon has really thick noodles. It's good. That sounds all too
特別ゲ
familiar.
ストってもしかして3年生？
Why don't you just say her name? Why do it? I don't know if it's a Japanese thing. People love to dance, or maybe it's just like a storytelling device to build up suspense. Everyone knows who they're talking about. Why do we have to go and do this? Is she a 3rd year? Is it Seal? Just say, is it Seal?
メガネの似合うショートカットで元気よく動き回って、それでいて頼れる空気出しまくり。
Why? Like, what is up? What's that name?
なんだそれ。
Maybe he's teasing
い
him.
つから俺の頭を盗んだ？
いや、そういうわけじゃなくてさ。
お待たせしました。こちらの席でよろしいですか、遠野くん。
She comes over with a radiant smile. In her hands, she carries a tray with food for 2 people.
なんと！
おや、乾くん。奇遇ですね。
She nonchalantly takes a seat at the table. She chooses the seat opposite me, putting her next to Arihiko.
おう。
He makes an unfamiliar sound. Perhaps he can't cope with his sudden good fortune. I know what he's going through. I felt the same way not too long ago.
遠野くんもどうぞ。今日は遠慮せずにお腹をいっぱいにしてください。
She's a feeder. There's no way I can say no to a smile like that. I've already said that today, Shiki. I give up and sit down in the seat facing her.
それじゃあ、ありがたくいただきます。
clasped my hands together and looked down at the tray that she brought me. On the tray there was curry rice, and curry udon. Well, here's the curry thing I was talking about. Wait, what?
先輩。
はい、何ですか、遠野くん。
いや、これどういうことでしょうか。
What? She likes curry. I mean, get over it, Shiki.
遠野くんと私のお昼ご飯じゃないですか。
Chikara udon looks like udon with toasted mochi. That sounds really good. Ironic because mochi was here earlier.
何ってカレーにしか見えないけど。
もちろん、みんな大好き定番のカレーですよ。
You don't have to tell me that. The problem is that there's only curry. I mean, it's one meal. Like,
メニュ
he's so
ー
dramatic.
3つありますね。
もちろんです。遠野くんは男の子なんですから、いっぱい食べてもらわないと。私は一品でいいですから。
それじゃあカレーライスとカレーうどんで。
Any other combination will just be having the same dish twice.
残さず食べてくださいね。遠野くん、好き嫌いないんですから。
There isn't a trace of malice in her smile. She isn't joking around or pulling a prank on me here. She really does only have the best of intentions.
いただきます。
I resign myself to my fate. Oh, fate reference. And dip my spoon into the curry rice. And then
この野郎、遠野くん。
the man whose brain malfunctioned a minute ago is finally rebooted.
お前さんね、いつまで無二の親友を無視してるわけ？あれだろ一言。いや、常に生きていてありがとう乾くん。ところで今日は素敵な先輩を紹介するよ。おっと僕は忙しいのでそろそろ校舎裏に行く。あとは2人でご歓談の歩道とかいろいろさ。あと余ってるならそのカレーうどんちょうだいね。
Good gracious.
やらないよ。でも常に生きていてご苦労様、乾くん。
His arm darts in my direction. I skillfully guard the curry udon against his evil hands.
乾くん、遠野くんとお知り合いなんですか？
何言ってんすか。知り合いも知り合い、中学時代からの大親友ですよ、俺たちは。
My so-called best bud reiterates strongly.
そうだったんですか。ごめんなさい、約束を保護してしまって。そのですね、私が今朝ご迷惑をかけてしまったのが遠野くんなんです。
いいっす。筋の通った理由っすから。というか名前さえ教えてくれたらこっちから遠野を連れ出したっすよ。でこいつどんだけひどいことをやらかしたんですか？
早朝の電車でばったり会って、そのままおしゃべりしていたら他の乗客さんに注意されちゃいました。ダメですね、周囲の迷惑を考えないと。遠野くんは悪くないのに私の代わりに怒られてくれたんです。
はあ、早朝の電車っすか。ダベルなんて人の自
I
由
don't
で
know
す
if
けど
I'm being
ね。
paranoid, but I don't know. She seems like
早朝？遠野はわか
it
るとして
doesn't feel real. Like, is she really like? I mean, don't tell me, but like, I wonder if she's really like this nice, or if it's an act. That's all I'm saying.
今朝はボランティアの帰りです。公園のゴミ拾いですね。ほら、学校の掲示板でもあったでしょ。生徒は自主的に参加するようにって。
I went to a restaurant once and ordered curry, and the plate was huge.
ああ、海浜公園のあれか。さすが先輩、ご苦労様です。でもそういうことするから教師連中が当てにするんすよ。先行どもは好きあらばサボりやがるんだから。あんまり調子に乗らせないでほしいんですけどね。
I really like Arihiko. He's so like considerate.
いいんです。私が好きでやってるんですから。
Like even when Shiki's being an asshole, he's still like,
先生
dude, I'm
方もき
concerned
ちんと
about
学校の
you.
ことを考えてくれています。今の物言いは感心できませんよ、乾くん。
Yeah, of course you don't. Stickler ass. Seal Senpai ruthlessly rebukes his lazy opinions. How are they lazy? Oh, I'm getting mad. Well, not literally, but from the looks of it, he seems to be close to her in his own way.
先輩、 もしかして毎日ボランティアをやってるんですか？
なんだ遠野、知らないのか？シエル先輩と言ったら真の生徒会長って呼ばれてるぐらい便利な人でだな。
知ってる。肩書きだけの生徒会と違って何でも解決してくれる完璧な3年生だろ。
おう、1年じゃファンクラブまであるし、教師連中も厄介事が起こるとシエルに相談すれば安心だなんてのれんに腕押し状態だからな。今じゃ先輩が何をしたって文句を言う教師もいないぐらいだ。
Have we met the student council? I don't remember them. Arihiko-san, so proud you think he was talking about himself.
ファンクラブまでは知らなかった。すごい人だったんだ、シエル先輩って。うちの教師連中に頼りにされるなんてよっぽどのことだよ、それ。
I look at her with admiration.
はい、ありがとうございます。
I mean, she's very cute. Senpai stirs her curry rice with a spoon. She's not Arcuid, but she's very cute. I suppose it's to hide her embarrassment, but it also reminds me of my immediate enemy. Curry rice isn't the only thing on my plate. I also have to contend with the curry udon. Oh, poor you, Shiki. Although the doctor has warned me not to eat too much, I feel like I'd let Senpai down if I didn't finish eating both. I guess I'll start with the curry rice and try to enjoy it before I start to get too full. As I eat, Senpai and Arihiko talk about each other's current residences. I knew that his parents had passed away. Oh my god, me and Arihiko are the same person. I'm just kidding, obviously. But it seems that Seal Senpai is living alone as well. Apparently her apartment's pretty close to Soya Station. Seems that she's renting an apartment in the residential area to the southeast of the station, next to the business district, as opposed to the downtown area to the north.
ところで遠野くんはどのあたりに住んでるんですか？
はい。
As I'm eating my rice and peas, she suddenly asked me a question.
どのあたりと言われると、その返答に困るというか。
After all, I'll be living somewhere else starting today. I don't feel comfortable explaining the situation. If possible, I'd like to keep it vague so I don't have to answer the question. But I find it hard to squeeze out even a half-hearted lie when someone is staring straight at me like this.
質問で返しますけど、先輩はなんで俺なんかの家を知りたがるんです？
だって遠野くん、私のアパートの場所を聞いちゃいました
I
よ
mean, I agree with
ね。
her on this.
なのに私だけ遠野くんのお家を知らないのは不公平だなって。
I mean, this could be manipulative, but I also agree with her. It's like, oh, so you get to ask me all the questions, but you don't say anything?
変ですか？
まあ、ちょっと変です。不公平だなんて妙なことを気にするんですね、先輩は。
What? Fuck you.
妙な
Yeah.
ことじゃない
Yeah, I'm on your side, girl.
どこに住んでいるかわからないんじゃ、何かあった時お見舞いにも行けないじゃないですか。
Stop chewing on my rice. I feel like I just heard her say something that would make any man happy.
お見舞いって、例えばの話、俺が
Oh my god,
風邪でもひいた
look
ら
at him fishing.
見舞いに来てくれるとか。
いえ、行きませんよ。今のところそんな予定はありませんから。
I guess I was celebrating too early. She has no such intentions. I see. In other words, she's just an airhead, isn't she? What?
俺の家もこの町ですよ。徒歩にして30分弱。ほら、北口から郊外に上がると坂の上に住宅地があるでしょ。あそこの奥まで行ったところです。
ああ、そうだった。今日から引っ越すんだっけ、お前。
He deliberately interjects. I love him. She tilts her head slightly.
引っ越したですか。遠野くん転校生だったんですか？
は？
She says something strange. Arihiko and I just silently make eye contact with each other.
あのですね、俺は1年からこの学校にいるし、先輩ともその頃から顔見知りだったじゃないですか。なんだってそこで転校生だなんて単語が出てくるんです？
だって遠野くん引っ越したって。
Yeah, that does. I'm gonna be honest. That doesn't make any
引っ越
sense.
したら誰だって転校生になるわけじゃありません。住所が変わった
Oh,
だけ
okay,
で
never mind. What she?
学校は
I was
変わってないです。
misunderstanding what they were talking about. Okay.
今までは親戚の家にいたんですけど、今日から元の家に戻るだけなんですよ。
After a look of surprising comprehension from Senpai, she seems like she grasps the situation.
お家が変わっただけなんですね。それで今は郊外の住宅地に引っ越したと。
そう、坂の上にある仰々しいところに。
なるほど、合点がいきました。じゃあもしかして。
She asks hesitantly. To the people from the city, the Western-style building on the hill must be something special. I haven't been back for 7 years, but the Tono mansion in my memory is as big as a castle to me.
そういうことです。自分でも場違いだとは思ってるんですけど。
その様子じゃあんまり乗り気じゃなかったのか。自分の家って言っても7年ぶりならしょうがねえか。しばらくは他人の家みたいに感じるんじゃないか。
See, he's so considerate. I love
どうだろ
Arihiko.
う。まだ帰ってないからよくはわからない。
Best man in this series.
まあ、俺にはお前の家っていう避難場所があるから気は楽だけど。
なんですかそれ。ざっけんな。俺んちはお前のビバークポイントじゃねえですよ。休みになりゃ泊まりに来やがって。おかげで姉貴は俺より友達の遠野くんびいきになっちまって年々小遣い減ってるんですけど。
I think that's probably more because of his bad behavior, but I decide not to open that can of worms. To be honest, I don't feel comfortable talking about the Tono family.
へえ、仲がいいんですね、二人とも。
よくねえ。俺と遠野は奪い合うことはあっても手を取り合うことはない。いわば敵同士っすよ、マドモアゼル。
Mademoiselle.
でも遠野くんは乾くんのお家に泊まるぐらいなんでしょ。仲すごくいいじゃないですか。
違いますよ先輩。遠野は長い休みになると家に居づらいってんで逃げてきただけです。この野郎、預けられたことで有馬の人たちに遠慮してんので、部屋が空いてる俺のところに転がり込んでくるってわけ。外見がいいから姉貴にも気に入られちまってさ、厚かましくも手ぶらで泊まりに来るんだぜ。
I want to see his sister's remake design? I want to see his sister, period. I don't know who his sister is. Arihiko shakes his fist as if saying that he won't forgive me. I see, so that's why. I'll bring a souvenir or two next time.
預けられたって遠野くんがですか。
He clams up, realizing he's said too much. He put on an uncharacteristically sheepish
気
grin.
にするなよ。別に悪いことじゃないんだから。
Without looking at Arihiko, I take another bite of the curry rice.
そっか。まあそうだよな。あれで文句を言ったらバチが当たるってもんか。
He nods his head, seemingly convinced. I think his overwhelming optimism is truly an admirable trait.
ごめんなさい遠野くん。その前のご家族とはうまくいってなかったんですか。
いや、そんなことはないっすよ。こいつ有馬の親御さんとは何の問題もないもんな。みんな超いい人たちだし。いや、有馬の親父さんは割と怖いけど。だって言うのにこいつは養子にならないかって話も断って休みになれば俺のところに逃げてきやがるんだ。
不満なんかあるわけないだろ。よくしてもらってるからこれ以上負担をかけたくないだけだ。
I finish my curry rice. All that's left now is a hefty bowl of curry udon. As you can see, she's looking a little down.
ごめんシエル先輩。つまらない話だった。
そんなことないですよ。私の方こそ変なことを聞いてしまってすみません。
She forces herself to act cheerful. This topic might have been fine for a longtime friend like Arihiko, but I'm sure it's a little awkward for someone like Senpai. In fact, she seems to be fidgeting as if she's uncomfortable. I don't think it's for that reason, Shiki, because it's just stuck in my head that she knew us from a long time ago. So she's probably thinking about
あ
that stuff.
ごめん先輩。俺ちょっと遠野と内緒話があるからさ。
He blindsides us with his offhanded remark. He's actually trying to phrase things nicely. If he was more blunt, he'd say something like, "You're bothering us, senpai, could you leave?"
何言ってるんだ。内緒話なんてどこでもできるし、第一先輩はまだ食べ終わって。
Yet. Even though she's been talking most of the time, she's already polished off her curry rice.
いえいえ、承知していますとも。それでは邪魔者はここで。お先に失礼しますね。
She bows lightly to the two of us and leaves. It's just me and Arihiko at the table.
先輩も居づらそうだったし、俺もこうした方がいいとは思ったけどさ。今のは紙一重じゃないか。
まあさっきのは仕方ねえだろう。口を滑らせたのは俺なんだし。
See, he's such a good guy! Arihiko's my favorite man in this series. He slurps his chikara udon. He was so absorbed in the conversation with senpai that it got cold.
お前、先輩のことを狙ってたんだ。
そりゃ俺に限らず誰だって狙ってますよ、シエル先輩。うちの学校じゃピカイチだしね。
Hello?
でもまあ今の流れで気にするような性格だったらどうでもいい。
Oh, period. He's such a good
本
friend.
当のことだし。
He said if she can't take my best friend's past, then this is, you know, I don't know. I was thinking about saying something off my back. No, I don't know. Whatever. His voice is rather serious. I split my chopsticks and start eating my udon.
なんだよ。気持ち悪いな、急に深刻ぶって。また何かやらかしたか？
そんなんじゃねえって。俺が聞きたいのは実際遠野はどうなのかってこと。
どうって。
だから遠野は小学生の自分からよそに預けられてたんだろ。どんな理由かは知らないが、それから7年も経つんだ。
感動されていたわけじゃない。なんとなく屋敷から出るように言われただけだ。
遠野君、君ね、なんとなくで子供を家から追い出す過程があったら、それは悲劇じゃなくて笑い話ですよ。ただしほら一歩手前、寒すぎて笑えねえけどな。
Truth is, even before I was involved in a car accident and hospitalized, my relationship with my father was already strained. The Tonos have been a prominent family for a long time, and their way of life is far from the norm. All I can remember from those days was that huge mansion, as well as the pressure of our family rules, which, just like the mansion, seem frozen in time. Oh, I remember. I like this song. It reminds me of this song in Lane. It's like a really sad song in Lane. The Tono family was also pretty wealthy and held shares in a number of companies. My father was apparently a mediocre businessman, but the assets he inherited from his grandfather were strong enough to keep the company running smoothly. The house was an anachronism. Anachronism? I don't know what that means. The lifestyle within was that of upper class, where everything revolved around decorum and history. What kind of child wouldn't get bored with living in a mansion like that? And so when I was told that I would be left at the Arima house, I accepted without much resistance. I think it was for the best in the end. I got along well with the people of the Arima family, and I treated my stepmother Keiko and stepfather Fumiomi as if they were my real parents. Tonoshiki has always longed for a normal family and lived with the Arimas as though he were their actual son. I don't think there's anything to regret about that. Well, there is one thing. I can't help but feel bad about leaving my younger sister Akiha behind at the mansion. Akiha must hate me. Hate Tonoshiki. I mean, she has every right to. She was left alone in that huge mansion, living with my hard-headed father. It's easy to imagine how she feels about me running away from her. She does not hate you.
そうだな。確かになんとなくで家から追い出されたら、そりゃ笑うしかない。
だろ？おまけに二度と敷居はまたぐなっていう決め台詞付きだ。世間様ではそういうのを感動って言うんだ。今まで聞かなかったけどな。お前、なんで感動されたんだ？
I wonder. Problem is that I don't have the answer to that question myself.
ま、話したくないならいい。
Like, he's such a good friend. I love him. He lifts his bowl with both hands and chugs the broth. Lunch break is short, so I decide to follow his example and finish my meal as quickly as possible. Classes have ended. I couldn't bring myself to head to the mansion right away, so instead I've just been staring idly out the window at the schoolyard. The classroom has been dyed orange by the setting sun. The color like that of a still wet watercolor red hurts my eyes just a little. I don't really like crimson red. Looking at it makes me feel nauseous. It's like it seeps directly into the depths of my eyeballs. As it turns out, I have a hard time with things that remind me of blood. Or more accurately, I've developed a condition that's made me this way. A condition called trauma. 7 years ago, I had a near-death experience. I'm told there was a terrible accident, and since I happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, I was caught up in a collapsing building. LOL. Initially, it had seemed that the injury would be fatal, and everyone given up hope. Apparently, things were looking pretty grim. However, thanks to the quick response of the doctors, and the fact that all the wounds were concentrated in one place, I was miraculously saved somehow. No Miyako Arima mentioned Saj? Who's Miyako? I don't know who that is. When I think back on it like this, it seems like someone else's story, and it's only natural that much of it feels made up, because it is. One day, I unexpectedly got involved in an accident, was struck by an object which pierced through my chest, and lost consciousness. I was like a machine that had been forcibly shut down. My memories immediately following the accident are an indistinct blur of pain and cold. The first thing I can remember clearly is waking up in the hospital. I still have the scars from that accident. The daughter, she's playable and melty? Oh, really? Do we meet her in the OG Tsukihime? According to what I heard, not only did I land hard on my back when I fell, but a piece of glass or something had pierced my chest. It's called a knife, Shiki. Thanks to that, I have a burn-like scar in the middle of my chest and back. First time I looked directly at my body after my wounds had closed, I passed out at the sight. Since then, I've had frequent bouts of anemia and fainted many times, causing a lot of trouble for those around me. It's probably the reason why my father, why Makihisa left me with the Arimas. He must have thought I wasn't strong enough to be the heir. I hold back the wave of nausea that comes over me. The pain is like a needle pricking my eyeball, but I take some deep breaths and push through it. The mark of death lies squares in the middle of my chest, hidden beneath my uniform. Ever since that accident, I've been able to see the lines. Thanks to the glasses that Sensei gave me, I've been able to live a decent life, but if I hadn't met her, I would have lost my mind ages ago. She's not in the OG, she just gets alluded to? Oh. When I said goodbye to Keiko-san this morning, she was concerned about the fact that the members of the household are a little unusual. Miyako is gonna make a cameo in the remake, but Nasa decided not to for whatever reason. Oh, okay. She needn't have worried. After all, even if they are abnormal, I'm not exactly an ordinary person either. Well, ain't that the truth? Put my glasses back on and pick up my bag. I can't stay in the classroom forever. Alright, it wants me to wander around the school. Before I do though, I need to pee really badly, so give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm wondering. Pretty sure I didn't pick this last time because I wanted to see the house. I'm still not prepared to return to the Tono estate. I don't have anything in particular to do, but maybe I should wander around the school to calm down. Suddenly, I remember I made a promise this morning to meet someone.
そうだった。電車の中で茶道部に顔を出すって話をしたんだっけ。
Oh. Must be the work of fate for me to suddenly remember a thing like that. Miyako has her own manga series. I haven't read it though. Oh, cool. I've still got time to spare, so I'll go stop by the tea ceremony room. The tea ceremony club room is located at the end of the club activity building. Took me about 10 minutes to find it. For some reason, nobody I asked seemed to know where it was. In the end, I went to the staff room and looked it up on the floor plan.
すみません。先輩いますか？
Imaska. I knock on the sliding door and call out to her. Soon after.
おや、誰かと思えばトーノくん。
The familiar face of Steel Senpai appears.
もしかして遊びに来てくれたんですか？いえ、これは遊びに来てくれたと見ました。ささ、そういうことなら中にどうぞ。ちょうどトーノくんと話したかったところです。
はあ。それじゃあ遠慮なくお邪魔します。
Although I'm a little embarrassed by her forcefulness, I did come here to talk to her. I enter the tea ceremony room obediently. Haven't we been here before? I remember being in here at one point. But it was like empty, I think. Club room is way more authentic than I'd expected. I mean, it's a completely Japanese style room.
驚いた。うちの学校にこんな教室があったなんて知らなかった。
Isn't it a club room?
私もそう思います。形式上は部活動のためということになってましたが、校長先生の趣味でしょうね。もっとも私が入るまでは使われていなかったようですが。
She's the only one in the club? She leads the way over to the tatami floored portion of the room and begins preparing some tea for us.
先輩が来るまで使われていなかった。
そうなんです。もったいないことに茶道部は部員数ゼロの架空部活に甘んじていたのです。お菓子は心の安定剤。和菓子の良さを伝える道が廃れているなんて、街から笑顔が消えるようなもの。いえ、雨の日に捨てられた子犬を見捨てるようなもの。 ですので先生方にお願いして茶道部を再開させていただいたんです。部員はまだ私一人なので5人揃うまでの仮運転ではありますけど。
そうなんだ。先輩好きなんだ。
I don't think that's the point of the tea ceremony.
はい、本命は洋菓子ですが丁寧に作られたお菓子に寄せはありませんから。ともあれ茶道部の首相として地道に勧誘活動を続けているんです。そのおかげで放課後とか休み時間とかこんな風に自由に部室を使わせてもらっているんですよ。遠野くんも何かありましたらぜひ。私放課後は大抵ここにいますから。
そうなんですか。
Does that count as mixing personal or public affairs? Or is she using it more as a secret base? Whoa, why are you inching closer? I'm honored that she's given me a standing invitation to visit, but would that really be But will that really help her revive the club?
けど遠野くんも物好きなんですね。確かにお誘いはしましたけど、あれだけでここまで足を運んでくれるなんて。もしや。
Interesting. That's all I can say. I feel myself flush at the sound of her teasing voice. I almost start protesting that I didn't come here to hit on her. I just want to drop by, but I realize I'd just be digging a hole for myself.
いや、本当に特に理由はなかったんですけど。
It's no wonder that she called me out on it. She only asked me to come if I was interested. Normally I wouldn't even think about following through on something like this.
と、これは失礼。強くかけすぎちゃいましたか。
She mutters to herself, then clasps her hands together. Squint at the red sunlight streaming through the window. While I'm busily marveling at the novelty of the ceremony room, she takes a cushion from the closet and places it on the tatami. Tea is tea, but it looks like she's taking the ceremony seriously.
あのさ先輩、俺こういう作法苦手なんですけど。
そこは問題なく、私だって流した手前ぐらいしか知りませんよ。遠野くんはどうぞ自由に楽に。
I'm served a teapot, a teacup, and some tea cakes. Snacks are the sort of individually wrapped cakes and rice crackers you get at convenience stores. It seems like this really is just a place for drinking tea and chatting.
気軽におしゃべりするだけなんですから、堅苦しいのはなしにしましょう。正座とかしないで足を崩しちゃってもいいですよ。
LOL. She smiles softly and pours tea into teacups for the two of us.
はあ、真面目なんだかおおらかなんだかよくわからない人ですね。
I pick up the teacup and bring it to my mouth. Although I was never involved, the Arima family was the head of the tea ceremony school. Perhaps because I grew up in such a house, I'm accustomed to spending time drinking tea in a Japanese-style room. Drink my tea slowly as if consuming time itself. All of a sudden, I notice she's looking at me with a troubled expression.
どうしたんですか先輩。浮かない顔してますけど。
ああ、なんだか遠野くんの方が落ち着いてるなってちょっと驚いてました。
うちはもともと厳しい家だったからこういうのに慣れているだけですよ。それより先輩、話したかったって言ってましたけど。
おっと、そうでした。実はお昼に聞いたお話がどうしても気になって。
昼の話ってその俺の実家のこと？
She nods.
遠野くんが嫌じゃなければですけど。ほら、この時期に住まいを移すなんて何か良くないトラブルでもあったのかなって。
うちの家の話なんて聞いたってつまらないですよ。それこそ時間の無駄だと思うけど。
つまらなくてもいいですよ。私が聞きたいだけなんですから。は
あ、物好きですね先輩は。
I guess so, she laughs.
それじゃあ話の続きをしましょう。 自分の家に戻ると言っていましたけど、今までご実家には戻られていなかったんですか？
はい。いろいろあって、7年近く実家に戻ってなかったんです。療養生活みたいなものでしょうか。10歳の頃に事故に遭ったんですけど、で、遠野の家は何かと騒がしいので、落ち着ける親戚の家に預けられていて、それが昨日までの話です。
ああ、それは大変でしたね。その傷の方はまだ？
そっちはバッチリ治っています。後遺症は貧血だけですけど、親父に言わせれば事故に遭う前からその気はあったそうだし、
そうだったんですか。辛いお話をさせてごめんなさい。つまりその親戚の方々が10歳からの育ての親ということになるんですね。
そうですよ。有馬という家の人たちで、俺にはもったいないぐらい。
My words are filled with gratitude for them, even if I don't consciously know it. I think I was happy to have stayed in that house for 7 years.
過去形なんですね。いずれご実家に戻ることが分かっていたから、有馬家の人たちはあなたを家族として接していなかった。
いや、そういうわけじゃなくて、遠野家から呼び戻しが来るなんて全く思ってなかったし、俺も恵子さんたちもずっと一緒に暮らすと思っていました。
呼び戻しがないと分かっていたんですか？遠野くんは遠野家の長男なのに？
はい。本当のことを言ってしまうと、療養生活というのは建前なんです。
それはあなたの勘違いではなく？
うん、そうですね。勘違いならそれに越したことはありません。
I respond to her words as frankly as I can. I'm sure I must be smiling. Warms my heart to hear the concern in her voice as she suggests that my father and I may have simply been talking past each other.
でもそれを確認することはもうついこの間、当の本人が奇跡に入りましたから。親父はぽっくり言っちまって、7年間の行き違いはこれ。
That is, if there ever truly was a misunderstanding.
お父さん亡くなられたんですね。それであなたは実家に戻ることになった？
はい。新しい当主からとっとと帰ってこいと矢の催促で、おっかないんで今日から戻ることになりました。
I finish the conversation. Sil-senpai takes a small breath and stares back at me as if she has something on her mind.
一つ聞いていいですか？
Her voice has a serious edge to it, and I find myself unconsciously straightening up.
どうぞ。俺に答えられる範囲でなら。
そうですか。では遠慮なく。あなたは先ほど有馬の家の人たちを過去形で話しました。あなた本人ももう切り離して考えている。
Foster family? You mean the Arimas? I guess they're the ones who looked after me for the last 7 years. They may have been my mother and father, but they weren't my real parents. The house that served as my home was unfamiliar to me, but none of that mattered at all.
いえ、大好きでした。血がつながってないことなんて気にも留めない人たちで、俺が一人で落ち込んでいるのが申し訳なくなるぐらい、そういった疑いようのない愛情を信じられる自分もまんざらじゃないんだなって思いました。
I knew that those people loved me. That's why I had to become a real part of their family as quickly as I could. It's what I've been telling myself ever since I was a child. For as long as I can remember, really. I've been repeating that mantra over and over in my mind for what feels like forever.
でもダメだったんですね。
はい。熱しやすく冷めやすい性格って言いますけど。
No matter how happy I was to be loved, the next day I still felt like a stranger. I just couldn't think of myself as one of them, and my feelings would always peter out eventually. So at the very least, I try not to forget the fact that they cared for me.
家族に関してはそれが顕著なんです。父親母親が向けてくれる愛情より強いなんで。
Couldn't get the thought out of my head that since I couldn't do that, I wasn't really part of their family. Maybe I suffered some sort of terrible trauma as a child, and that's the reason why no matter where I go, I always feel like a stranger to my own family. Well, it's a very ironic statement. Senpai remains silent. She averts her gaze, but her shoulders slumped apologetically.
ほら、つまらない話だった。すみません先輩。時間を無駄にしちゃって。
いえ、そんなことないです。すごく有意義なお話でした。
Trying to lighten the mood, she forces a smile.
でもちょっと意外でしたね。私、遠野くんってのんびりしている子だなって思ってましたから。
基本的に俺はのんびりしてますよ。できるだけ今を楽しむってのを座右の銘にしましたから。終わってしまうことより先のことを楽しみにしていた方がハッピーでしょ。
Well, that's what Arihiko once told me.
先のことを楽しみに。いいですね、そういうの。私も全力で応援したくなっちゃいました。しかし、できるだけエンジョイする。それじゃあ差し当たって明日から一緒に登校とか。
I'm a little shocked at the sudden invitation. Actually, I'm more shocked that I've been talking about myself this entire time. It's not like me at all.
ああ、いや、そういう意味ではなくて、楽しむってのはあくまで希望的観測に過ぎないというか、先輩を口説くならもっと事前に段階を踏むというかですね。
はい、もちろん冗談です。遠野くんが紳士であることは私も分かっていますから。
Can't help but feel slightly disappointed, but at least I didn't cause a misunderstanding. I regain my composure and take a sip from my tea. The tea is stone cold after sitting out during the lengthy conversation. We end up talking for another hour. I ended up having Senpai take so much interest in everything I had to say. Oh, I enjoyed. Sorry. But talking this much when I'm not used to it is exhausting. She particularly enjoyed my story about the school trip, which apparently she couldn't take part in because she'd come down with a cold the day before.
中学2年生ということは14歳の頃の遠野くんですか。その頃の遠野くんも見てみたかったです。
Anyone would blush if she said that to them with a smile on her face. We could have talked on and on, but the sun would set soon. It's almost time to close down the tea ceremony room for the day, so I take off ahead of her and start heading home. I walk a new route back to my new home. Actually, oh yeah, I have read this before. There's one thing still on my mind. It's Akiha, obviously. Wasn't there another kid we used to play with? Interesting. It's my sister Akiha, of course. She apparently came to visit me a few times right after I was entrusted to the household. Fortunately, I didn't get to see her since I was always on my way to and from the hospital. After she went off to boarding school, we only exchanged a few letters. Unlike Akiha, I'm no longer a member of the main family. That is why I was able to lead a free and easy life. It wouldn't be inaccurate to say I'd barely had any contact with her after these 7 years. To be honest, the idea of returning hadn't crossed my mind the entire time. But Akiha's there. When we were kids, she was quiet and always followed me around as though there was something out there that terrified her. Perhaps it was her long black hair and luxurious clothes, but she seemed like a captive princess straight out of a fairy tale, a fragile girl. Even though I have no right to act like a big brother now, I've been worried about her future these past 7 years. Wait, did you say I never have? Hold on. Wait, I hit the wrong button. Oh god. Oh, he says I have. Oh, no. With our father gone, she's left all alone in that mansion. More than anything, I feel guilty about forcing the duties of the family on her and living a selfish life. I think the reason why I agreed to come back to the mansion may have been so I could apologize to her. The main gate is firmly shut. As a child, I knew the mansion was pretty big, but after living in a normal-sized house, it's finally sinking in just how huge it is. This entire hill overlooking the city is property of the family. The plot within the mansion on it alone is larger than my high school, and if you count the forest that spreads out behind it, it's probably 3 times bigger. The grounds are surrounded by a long wall and trees, making it impossible to peek inside. The main gate, which serves as the entrance to the property, is closed and forbidding. Next to the bigger gate for cars, there's a doorway for people. After a moment of hesitation, I press the button that seems to be the doorbell. Unlike a normal intercom, there's no ringing to be heard by the person who pressed the button. After a few seconds of waiting, the lock on the door releases and the intercom buzzes, inviting me to enter.
ここのドア、全自動にな。
Oh wait, I think I did all this. Okay. Kaku.
日が落ちてもいらっしゃらないようでしたら、こちらからお迎えに向かうところでした。
The girl wearing a kimono and an apron laughed softly. Pog, it's me! I'm so bewildered by this unexpected turn of events I can't speak coherently. I'd assumed the person waiting to welcome me would have been the rugged-looking butler who had been Makihisa's secretary. She tilts her head gently as if puzzled by my confused attitude.
四季様ですよね。
はい。様っていうのは、余計だけど。
ですよね。もう脅かさないでください。私また間違えてしまったのかと怖くなってしまったじゃないですか。
The girl in the apron presses her forefinger to her lips with a warning gesture, like a mother scolding her child. It appeared that she really did worry and is now quite cross. Even so, the smile remains on her face, and she still gives off a welcoming atmosphere. She's wearing a kimono and apron. She came to greet me and she addresses me as Sama, in which case she must be...
すみません。もしかして、ここのお手伝いさんですか？
She simply smiles in response to my question.
さあ、お疲れでしょ。
That's interesting! I didn't remember her not confirming that, actually.
遠慮せずに上がってくださいな。秋葉様がお手すきになるまで居間でおくつろぎください。
That's interesting. The girl starts walking as if to guide me, her every movement gentle and calm. She heads towards the corridor in the east side of the lobby next to the staircase. If I remember correctly, the door to the living room is just inside the hallway. I have to hit explore the mansion, according to this guide. For that, I want to explore the mansion a little more. I know it's my own home, but seeing this elegant mansion in the flesh has gotten me excited.
今に行く前にちょっと他の部屋を見て回っていいですか？
Used to be a game room on the second floor of the West Wing.
覚えていらっしゃるのですね。ですが申し訳ありません。秋葉様がご当主になられてから遊戯室や図書室、サロンといった大部屋は施錠されております。長男であらせられる四季様であっても 秋葉様の許可なく使用することはできません。
ああ、そうなんだ。それは残念。
She refuses me flatly. Having lost some face, I turn my gaze away.
やっぱりそう自由には使わせてもらえないですよね。
いいえ、ご挨拶がお済みになればすぐにお許しいただけますよ。あ、でも鍵のかかっている部屋に入るときは私どもに一言かけていただけると助かります。塔の邸は外だけでなくうちのセキュリティも厳しいので、許可されていない部屋に入ってしまった場合、身の安全は保証できません。
保証できないってまた大げさな。矢でも飛んでくるんですか？
いいえ、矢より恐ろしい規則に厳しい当主様の雷が。
The maid smiles jokingly and once more goes to usher me down the corridor. I guess she wants me to go to the living room to rest first.
お帰りなさい、四季様。どうぞ今日からよろしくお願いします。
Unable to come up with an appropriate reply to her greeting, I timidly follow her. The girl leads me to the living room. The living room, which I haven't seen in 7 years, is so much luxurious now that it feels like I'm seeing it for the first time. Maybe I shouldn't skip all this.
そうですよね。
I hurriedly sit down on the sofa. I only just came back to my own house. I'm already overwhelmed. How pathetic. Kohako moves the tea wagon located in the corner of the living room closer, brews a cup of tea, and brings it to me on a tray.
どうぞ、そちですが。
ありがとうございます。
Can't help but feel embarrassed as she serves me politely with a smile on her face. I doubt it has to do with the way I lived at the house, or leave my house. I'm just middle class at heart.
秋葉様に声をおかけしてきますので、しばらくお待ちください。そうですね。おそらく10分ほどかかりますから、それまでお屋敷の中を見て回るのもよろしいかと。
いいんですか？
何をおっしゃいますやら。ここは四季様のお家です。勝手も何もございません。
As long as they're not locked, I guess.
いえ、でも2階はちょっといけませんね。1階でしたらお好きにご観覧ください。四季様にとっては7年ぶりのお屋敷ですもの。
Yeah, didn't we just
懐かしくて胸が弾んでいますでしょ。
Didn't we? I'm confused.
それでは。
She brandishes a mischievous smile. The girl who I suspect is one of the maids here bows and leaves the room.
参ったな。
The lavishly made living room makes my muttering reverberate even louder. Should I stay here and pass the time being nervous, or should I take a walk around the mansion? Stretch our legs a bit. Oh god, does that... I hate when it's not a direct answer. Like on my guard, it literally says, let's stretch our legs a bit. And that's not either of the options. I'm gonna assume that means go for a little walk. Oh. I think I picked this one last time, right? Ew, not this guy. I wonder if that's Shiki. It seems she's picking up at the fact that Saiki Goto's... Oh, that's his name?
いえ、なんでもないんです。ちょっと気をされているだけで。お茶、ありがとうございました。美味しかったです。
お上手ですね。こちらこそお褒めいただきありがとうございます。
She gives me a shy smile, which makes me feel warm as well.
と、それより本題ですね。お待たせいたしました。秋葉様のご用事がお済みになりましたの。
I head upstairs. Her office, in some ways, you can call it the heart of the family. It was Makihisa's private room in his capacity as family head, and I wasn't allowed to enter as a kid. A room used by each successive head of the family. No, my sister Akiha's waiting for me there. In contrast to the pale tones of the living room, the dominant theme of the office is red. Curtains are luxurious. A spotless crimson carpet covers the floor. The air is heavy and dignified. You can't help but feel the rich history of the room. This is the office of the family head. Once the domain of Makihisa, now belongs to Akiha.
四季様をお連れしました。ご苦労様。仕事に戻っていいわよ、琥珀。はい。それでは失礼いたしますね。
Sounds like the maid's name's Kohaku. She bows lightly to both of us and leaves the room. There's Hisui. The only ones left are myself and two girls I don't recognize.
O久しぶりですね、兄さん。
With a dignified look in her eyes, the girl with long black hair says the words laden with meaning. My mind's completely blank. My thoughts have stopped entirely. Can't even greet her properly, and I'm only capable of nodding. I'm a little disappointed in how pathetic I am, but there's not much I can do about it. The Akiha before me looks very different from the one I knew 7 years ago. It's almost like she aged Shiki.
兄さん、何かこの部屋に不審な点でも？
The black-haired girl narrows her eyes slightly as if carefully examining her suspicious visitor.
Yeah.
My mind's still trying to catch up. Can only stammer inarticulately. The cogs in my brain are turning at full speed, struggling to process that the girl in front of me is Akiha. She, on the other hand, seems to have no trouble recognizing me as her brother.
話には聞いていましたが、本当に体調が不安定なんですね。
She addresses me. They seem to have a certain sting to them.
いや、体調はそう悪くない。アキハがあんまりにも変わってたんで、びっくりしたというか。
7年も経てば変わります。ただでさえ私たちは成長期だったんですから。それと、
いや、
Oops. I'm so overwhelmed by the pressure she's exuding that I trail off. Or rather, I start to reflect on everything. Oops. I hadn't imagined what the current Akiho would be like. I hadn't thought outside the realm of childhood memories, convenient to me as her brother. I wonder how these past years have made her developed. But it's rude to think about this in front of her.
面目ない。正直考えが足りなかった。でも、それにしたってアキハは変わったよ。
Give my honest opinion.
ありがとうございます。兄さんは以前とあまり変わってはいませんね。
She coldly makes the assertion with her eyes closed. Well, I had expected something like this, but it really does seem like she doesn't hold me in high regard after I left. Silence lasts a few seconds as each of us tries to get a read on the other. Struggling to think of a casual greeting that's appropriate for a sister I've only just been reunited with. Akiha, meanwhile, is observing me as if I were a stranger, which I suppose I am to her at this point.
まあいいでしょう。体調が良いのなら話を済ませましょう。今回の移転について詳しい事情は聞いていますか？
いや、詳しい事情は何も。いいから屋敷に帰ってこいって話だけだ。
When the head of a business group dies, it's covered in the columns. I live in a world where even someone like me, the disowned son of the family, can learn of his parents' death without being informed by relatives. The news of his death was delivered to the Arima family after his funeral. It was as if it was none of my business.
申し訳ありません。お父様のことを兄さんに知らせなかったのはこちらの失策でした。
She quietly bows her head. Her smooth hair is beautiful. but now it's not the time to be admiring it. I shouldn't have said that earlier.
そこは気にしなくていいんじゃないかな。俺が言ったって死人が生き返るわけでもないんだ。逆に。
Being disowned puts you in a complicated position in many ways.
そうですか。そう言っていただけると、私も少しは気が楽になります。
Same goes for me, having a sister as frank as her. Funerals are a ritual for those who can't forget the deceased to lay their feelings to rest. We are father and son with ties long since severed. Can't think of a single reason to say goodbye to him. I neither have the right nor the duty to see him.
でも、そうなると誰が俺を呼び戻したんだ？親父の遺言ってわけでもないんだろ。
兄さんをこちらに呼び戻したのは、いつまでも遠野の長男が有馬の家に預けられているのはおかしいでしょ。どんな欠陥があろうと、あなたは遠野の人間なのですから。
Come to accept the word defect as natural. I've heard it often from my father. I don't feel any dissatisfaction or animosity at hearing it from her either. After all, it's a correct assessment.
お父様、遠野幹久が亡くなった以上、遠野の血筋は私と兄さんだけです。血は守られなければいけません。お父様がどのような考えで兄さんを有馬の家に預けたかは知りませんが、そのお父様
I wonder if her real reason is, well, like part of it is because, you know, she looks at him as a brother, but I wonder if it's because when her dad died, she saw that he's been keeping the other Shiki this whole time, and she's like, oh shit, I gotta protect my Shiki.
理由が定かではない以上、当の指揮をこちらで監督するのは。
Her words are calm but compelling. It's as if she's declaring in advance that she won't listen to any of my complaints or protests.
監督するか。
そんな自由はあなたにはありません。有馬の人間にも本家からの決定を拒む権利はありません。私も兄さんも遠野家に育てられたものです。少なくとも成人し。
So Makihisa said too. Parents have a responsibility to raise their children and send them off as members of society. Family is no more than the smallest company that makes up a nation, and as a company, you mustn't ship the defective products. To do so not only damages the name of the family, but also lowers the quality of the whole country. Those who can't take on that responsibility are not qualified to be parents, and children who can't live up to it have no reason to be part of a family. He told this to Munakiha many times. It was as if he was persuading himself over and over again.
親父の口癖だったな。じゃあ、俺を呼び戻した理由は単に。
It was in consideration for her brother, who was disowned by their family.
どのような経緯であれ、あなたが遠野家の長男だからです。それ以外に理由があるとでも。
As the head of the family, she's just cleaning up a matter that's been left unattended.
理解していただけて何よりです。言うまでもありませんが、私の発言は遠野家当主のものとして受け取ってください。戸籍上ではあなたは私の兄ですが、兄さん、私はあなたを兄として尊重しますが、7年前のことは忘れて、私たちは当主とその家人であることを。
Her voice is indifferent. She hands down her despotic judgment upon me. And it's true I did feel something rather cold-hearted in that. But nevertheless...
うん、それはそれでわかりやすい。はっきり言ってくれた方が俺もすっきりする。
This is a natural outcome. It's nothing to be upset about.
私の言葉を理解していますか？私は兄さんより上の立場で、それを承諾しろと一方的。
分かってるし、文句はないよ。むしろ、7年間好き放題に生きてきた俺に、妹としてきちんと礼を取ってくれる明葉に。けど、明葉の考えは別にして、親戚の連中がよく納得したな。
そうですね。ですが、今の当主は私です。この件に関して意見を挟むということは 私にひいては遠野に逆らうことだと明言しましたから。
My eyes widen. Even Makihisa couldn't reject the branch families, but for Akiha to persuade all of them, no, maybe she argued them down. Damn. She's certainly matured outwardly, but I'm a little scared of just how much she's matured on the inside as well. Family register says I'm her older brother, but I'm worried she may have leapfrogged me.
兄さん、ぼーっとしたお顔をされていますが。
ああ、いや、感心したというか、感動したというか。
当たり前です。そうでもなければ兄さんを呼び戻せないでしょう。話を戻します。兄さんには今日からここで暮らしていただきますが、ここにはここの規律があります。
お今さら俺がお行儀いい人間に戻れるわけないし。
いえ、何があろうと戻っていただきます。子供じゃあるまいし、試す前から泣き言は結構です。それとも私にできたことが兄さんにはできないとおっしゃるのですか？
She shoots me a cold glance. I know I've already read this, but it's a good refresher. Or rather, her gaze is more like a piercing spear. There's no doubt about it. I'm now being mercilessly bombarded with the animosity that's piled up during the last 7 years.
わかった。できるだけ
努力はする。努力をすれば誰であれ報われるとでも。私が求め。
I'm completely dumbfounded by her lack of even an ounce of kindness.
いいです。兄さんは今まで自由気ままに暮らしていたんですから。最短で1週間、最長で1ヶ月の猶予を差し上げますので、どうぞ死ぬ気で努力してください。
I hold back the thought that seems more like a suspended sentence than being let off the hook. She's making a compromise in her own way, I'm sure.
ですね、そこまで無茶な話ではありませんから。現在、屋敷には兄さんと私しか住んでいません。うるさ型の親戚筋がいては、兄さんも落ち着けないでしょうし、私も煩わしいので、人払いは済ませました。
Wait a minute, you don't
お
mean...
前、屋敷に居候してる親戚全員追い出したのか？
I think she was able to do that.
ええ、どうぞお気になさらず。家と財産を失いながら何の努力もせず、お父様の温情にすがっていただけの方々です。あ、使用人たちも大部分に暇を出しましたが、私と兄さん付きのものは残しましたので。
いや、問題ないってありすぎるだろ。そんな勝手をしまくったら
もうつべこべ言わないでください。兄さんだって屋敷の中に人があふれ返っているより、私たちしかいない方が気持ちは楽でしょ。
Oh, it does make me
い
feel
や
better.
でもだな、親父だって親戚の意見には逆らわなかったのに。
そうですね。だからお父様は兄さんを有馬の家に預けたんです。けれど私、子供の頃からあの人たちが大っ嫌いでしたから。
ごめんですって、秋葉。
ああ、もういいから、私なんかの心配は結構です。そんなことより兄さんはこれからのご自分の生活を案じてください。
She said unpleasantly, forcing the discussion to a close.
状況はご理解いただけたとは思いますが、兄さんはまだ有馬での暮らしが抜けきれていない様子。ま、それもいいでしょう。そのための使用人です。この先わからないことがあったら翡翠。
Without turning around, she calls out to the girl who's been waiting in the corner of the room. A girl called Hisui steps forward and bows in my direction. It's an expressionless but polite bow, an embodiment of sincerity.
この子は翡翠、うちの使用人です。これから兄さん付きの次女にしますが。
I see, so she's a maid here. Wait, what?
次女って。
わかりやすく言うと召使いということです。
Can't believe it. The girl in the uniform looks to be the same age as Akiha, and her face is devoid of expression in a manner that seems almost natural for her. Stop doing that game.
ちょっと待ってくれ。飯。
食事の支度や洗濯も。
She mercilessly points out my shortcomings.
ともかく、この屋敷に戻ってきた以上、有馬の家ではどう暮らしていたかは知りませんが、相応の待遇は義務として受け入れてください。
Cast a glance over at the girl in the uniform. She's still expressionless, just staring back at me like a doll.
それじゃあ翡翠、兄さんを部屋に案内してあげて。この人は右も左もわからない子猫と変わらないようですから、この広い屋敷でいきなり迷子にならないようにね。かしこまりました、秋葉様。
After bowing to Akiha, she quietly comes towards me, staring straight at me, but I look all over the place so our eyes don't meet. Her pace is gentle but not slow. It's clear she's been a maid for a long time.
あ、それと兄さん、長男といえど、この翡翠には兄さんのお守りも命じてありますから、翡翠の進言にはできる限り耳を傾けてください。
それ、お守りじゃなくて監視役って言わないか。
兄さんが規則正しい生活をしてくだされば、翡翠もそんな役割から解放。それではまた夕食の席で。
Seems she has a packed schedule and doesn't want to waste any more time.
お部屋にご案内いたします、四季様。
Ignoring my confusion, she heads for the door. I leave the office as well. I mean, I kind of remember all this. What about TV? Dinner table. Oh, I know. Wait. I don't remember this. Wait, what's happening? I don't know. I say what's happening as I keep skipping. On the second day. The day that wasn't what? I want to do one more new scene. Wait, what? Do we see this before? We must have it skipping. Chiki doesn't eat a lot. Yes, getting ready for school. Tea. Oh yeah, this girl. I remember her. The doctor, right? Apparently we were supposed to talk to her in Arkwood's route, but I didn't do that because I wanted to talk to Kohaku. I don't know. So we might avoid her in this route too. I don't know. Kohaku giving us our phone. We're in school. Ew, this bitch. I hate her. Hate her. Alright. Let's go to the hallway to think about it. Once again. Should be a new scene, I assume. Yep, okay. As soon as I step into the hallway, I run into a familiar upperclassman.
あれ、どうしたんですか、先輩。2年の教室に何か用事でも？
はい、もちろんです。正確に言うと2年生の教室にては
With me. She trusted to me, a broad smile on her face.
先ほど購買部で大変良い新商品を購入したのですが、調子に乗って買いすぎてしまいまして、一人では食べきれないので暇そうなお話し相手を捕まえに来たところなのです。
はあ、捕まえに来たですか。
I don't see many students around with time on their hands. But anyone would make time if she invited them out of nowhere. Heck, there'd be a queue. Anyway, putting that
先
aside.
輩、2年生の教室に来ちゃダメですよ。上級生なんだから。誘うなら3年のクラスメイトを誘ってください。
そうなんですけど、今日は年下の男の子とお話がしたい気分なんです。なんとなくなので理由は聞かないでください。
Suspicious. She speaks, she quickly closes the distance between us.
というわけで、遠野くん、お暇ですか？
ええ、それはまあこれから昼食を取るだけですけど。
それじゃあ捕まえました。2人で仲良く食べましょう。素敵な食事と一緒に遠野くんの時間もいただきですね。
With a smile on her face, she tugs softly on my sleeve. Such an insignificant gesture, but it carries a mysterious coercion that I feel utterly powerless to resist. We got to the courtyard. Autumn's beginning to strengthen its hold over the weather, and even though the sun is out, it's a little chilly. All my students eating lunch in the courtyard. In spite of that, are those whoops, how did I read apprentice? I mean, I guess the first half of it is the same. Are those that appreciate the elegance of the place, and senpai seems to be among them.
今日は珍しくベンチが空いています。さすがついてますね、遠野くん。
I miss Arcuid. Oh, I'm remembering the end and I'm getting sad. I miss her. I want Arcuid. She skips over to one of the benches and sits down. I follow her example, taking a seat next to her at a respectful distance.
それで購買部の新商品って何なんですか？
Curry chips.
1年前に姿を消したカニクリームコロッケロール。
They really did have a delicacy like that on the menu back in the day. They were so expensive they were discounted after the first week, but a lot of students are still holding out hope they'll make a comeback.
それはですね。
She's positively beaming as she places the paper bag on her lap. Reaching inside, she pulls out 4 stuffed buns.
じゃーん！購買部の仕入れルートに進言すること早1週間。ついに本格ベーカリーのアイテム販売が実現したのです。
The objects threatening to spill from her hand are stout, oval-shaped buns. The outside is... This is where we stop.
この生まれたばかりと見まごい焼き加減。1個300円と割高ですが、学生の税ここに極まったと言っても過言ではないでしょう。
$3 a piece. Okay, and then let me do that. Okay.
はい、どうぞ遠野くん。特別に半分お分けしますから遠慮なく。遠野くん？
いや、先輩、これさ。
These are the curry buns they sell at the famous bakery. Did I say bakery? Bakery in front of the station, aren't they? Of course
What?
they're curry flavored. Why? What does she mean, why? I don't know what to say to that. Are you sure you're from Earth if this doesn't make you happy look she's giving me?
昨日もそうだったけど、先輩、辛いの好きなの？
For some reason, I specifically avoided asking, do you like curry?
まあ、でも辛ければ好きというわけではなくてですね、特定の味付けが大変美味しく感じるというか、そうですね。いくら好きでも4つ全部同じ味というのはちょっと考えなしでしたね。
I don't know. Instead of storing money, you store baked goods, obviously. Good, at least she seems to understand it's slightly strange.
でもわかりますよ。好きなものってちょっと多いぐらい買い込んでおかないと。それじゃお言葉に甘えて遠慮なく。
Pick one of the curry buns and spread it out on her lap. Oh, spread out on her lap. Whoops, and bring it to my
いただ
mouth.
きます。外はカリカリ、パンは油が染みてほのかに甘く、中の具はしっかり詰まってる。美味しい。本当に美味しいですね、先輩。
I don't eat this kind of food very often, so it's a welcome change. I used to avoid fried buns because of their high oil content, but they're tasty if enjoyed in moderation.
でも先輩、お腹は大丈夫ですか？カレーと揚げパンって胃にもたれますよ。
そうなんですか？私はこの後体育ですから問題なく消化できちゃうと思います。はい。
Hi. You're gonna be running around later. Wouldn't you want to eat something a little easier to digest? I'm not entirely sure what she's basing her logic on here.
体が丈夫なのだけが取り柄ですから、私。
That's a sad statement.
あ、それよりお茶ですよね。麦茶でいいですか、遠野くん。
ういっせー、やっぱり日本人は麦茶っすよねあった余ったカレーパンゲット。
It's no wonder that Senpai's surprised. I don't know when he managed to sneak up behind us, but he suddenly snakes an arm out from behind the bench, brazenly snatches up one of the buns, and downs it in one bite.
なるほど、こいつはうまい。すげえうまい。何よりカレーの味がする。空腹で起きたばかりの俺にはごちそうすぎますな。いや、ちょい腹にもたれるけど、そこは先輩の真心でいい分ってことで。
He guffaws heartily. This guy saw me and Sel Senpai together and snuck up on us.
有彦、お前なんでそう人の邪魔をすることばかりに長けているんだ。前世からの呪いなのか？
抜けがけはなしですよ、お客さん。一人で美味しい目見ようったってそうはいかねえ。つうかランチなら俺も混ぜろよ。昨日席譲ってやったんだから、今日は俺が譲られる番ですよね。
Arihiko seems to have convinced himself that he was actually saving a seat for Senpai at lunch yesterday. He has quite the convenient memory.
すみません先輩、うちのクラスのバカが失礼を働きました。こんなことを言ってますけど、昨日は一応役に立っ。
Turn to look at her. When I do.
残念ながら却下です。
Oh.
乾くんはそこで歯を食いしばってください。
Is it because he took her bun? She's leapt nimbly to her feet and adopted a fighter's stance. Her left jab cuts through the air with a whoosh.
なんかどうに入ってらっしゃる？
Even to us amateurs, it's clear that this is a flawless shadowboxing.
怒ってるぞ有彦。たかだかカレーパン一つつまみ食いされたぐらいで。
お、なんだこれ、 冷や汗止まらねえよ。やばい、マジやばい。検圧で先輩が大きく見える。あ、今かすった。鼻先にジュってかすった。助けて。どうぞなんとかして先輩に謝って。
謝るのはお前だろ。寄るな、こっちに寄るな。俺まで犠牲者にするつもりか。
I pry myself away from the clinging Tsukihime.
さすが当のナイス白状。すみません先輩。つまみ食いは出来心っつかノリっつか、こう先輩とランチするためのアプローチというかですね。
なるほど、この席に入りたかったと。ですがふさわしい入場券が見当たりませんね。ランチであれば何か食べ物を持ってくるべきでは。
オッケー、了解しました。急いで調達してきます。
He sprints away at top speed. She sits back down on the bench as if nothing had happened.
乾くんにも困ったものです。いただきますの言葉もなかったばかりか、一口で飲み込んでしまうなんて、食材への感謝の気持ちが足りません。もう大変華麗な感想を二度口にしたので、今回は特別に多めに見てあげますが。
She shrugs her shoulders hopelessly and grumbles a complaint very befitting of an upperclassman.
お待たせー。入場券か。
おお。
げ
He returns after about 5 minutes. In his hands, he's carrying 2 bulging paper bags.
これ多すぎじゃ。
どうよ、あれだけ買い占めてみた。なんというか、これだけあれば先輩も怒りを鎮めてくれると信じて。
I see. She must have really scared him back then. Must have been a fear that only the person who was being targeted could feel.
いや、それにしても紙袋2つ分のカレーパンはやりすぎだ。皿に盛られたコロッケじゃあるまいし、これ
食い切れなきゃ残せよ。多少は日持ちすんだから、明日の昼までの完食にすりゃいい。そういうわけで、はい先輩、さっきの謝罪とお昼を一緒にする袖の下っす。
これはご丁寧にありがとうございます。どうぞ乾くん、ベンチの方に。私。
何言ってんすか。先輩は座っててください。で、俺がいない間にどんな話してたんすか。学校終わったら遊びに行くとか。
その逆、学校の中の話。お前朝いなかったから富山の代わりに新しい先生が来たことも知らないだろう。もったいない。うちのクラスの連中が舞い上がってるぐらいの美人なのに。
Is she?
何それ初耳。新しい先生って転校生みたいなもんで、どんなタイプ。俺高圧的な女教師は趣味じゃねえんだけど。
What does high-handed mean?
いかにも去年まで研修生だったって感じでバリッバリの癒し系。お前包容力のある年上が好きなんだろ。
Hey, I'm 25.
好み通りの25歳だ。
An older woman? Oh my god. I guess to a high
や
schooler.
めて、25歳だけはやめて。姉貴と同い年じゃねえか。それだけは生理的に受け付けねえんだよ俺。
Anything but 25? What the? I'm getting so many strays right now. Same age as my sister. I thought he had a younger sister, honestly.
おや、乾くん、年上の女性が好みなんですか。
そうっすよ。年上はめんどくさくないし。あ、いや、可愛ければめんどくさいのもありなんで、一つ下まではありですが。
ふむふむ、甘えるのも構うのも得意なわけですか。ところで遠野くんは年上範囲なんですか。
特に意識は
Well,
したことは
Arkuid's
ないです
like
けど、
a long,
有彦ほど
like a
自由じゃ
much
ないと
older
は
than
思いま
us,
す。
so yeah.
まったうっそくさい。なんか遠野からはお姉さん殺しの匂いがするんだよな。家庭教師とか主治医の娘さんとか、その手の話にはこと書かないんじゃねえの。
黙ってろ。いいから黙ってろ。そもそも家庭教師とか雇ったことないからな。
おお、では主治医の娘さんはあるんですか。
ありますけど面識だけです。シエル先輩も有彦のヨタ話に乗らないでください。
ヨタ話じゃないけどな事実だけどな実際抜け駆けして年上の先輩とランチしてたじゃないですか
ですよね。遠野くんがあんまりにも無防備にひょこひょこ歩いていたので私もつい誘われてしまったのです。なんというか雪原でウサギに会ったような気分でした。
はあ、まあ実際はウサギの皮をかぶった冷血生物なんですけどね、こいつ。クモとかサソリとかあの手の機械っぽい生き物。
Senpai and Arihiko laugh together. I want to object, but I'm afraid I'll end up bringing unnecessary trouble on myself, so I stay silent. And so the number of curry buns steadily dwindles. I'd like to correct my earlier comment about croquets on a plate. The mountain of fried buns is now being consumed as easily as a light snack. There are less than 20 minutes left before the end of lunch. What will be the fate of these curry buns? Our conversation continues right up to the end of the lunch break. Arihiko and I would talk about stupid things, and still Senpai would give her opinion. Senpai? What is it? I'm off today. Senpai would give her opinion, and then the conversation would start all over again. We were also running out of curry buns. Such a purposeless and extremely ordinary moment passes like flowing sand.
おっと、そろそろ頭が痛くなってきた。腹も膨れ。いや、待って。何も食べてないような、食べられなかったような。まあいいか。眠くなってきたんで保健室に逃げ込みますわ。じゃあな先輩、今度は俺と二人っきりでお願いします。
He runs up to the infirmary, seemingly fully intent on skipping afternoon classes as well.
やれやれ。注意するべきなんでしょうけど、不思議と乾くんには甘くなってしまいますね。
She stares at him in exasperation until he disappears from the courtyard.
あいつ必要最低限のことはきっちりこなしてますからね。事故の不始末は自分で片付けるやつだし、先輩も信頼して放任してるんじゃないですか。
なるほど、確かにそんな気はします。付き合いが長いだけあってよく分かっているんですね。
ただの腐れ縁です。先輩だってすぐに分かりますよ。あいつ突き抜けたアホだから。
Although I'm bad-mouthing him, she keeps on smiling gently.
何ですかその含み笑
い。いえいえ、遠野くんが笑っているものですから私もつられて笑っているんです。
I only noticed my smile after she says that. She's right. This was a moment I should treasure. Come to think of it, I've never spent time hanging around in the courtyard acting like a normal student
い。
before.
そうですね。ちょっと楽しかったです。あんまり中庭に出たことがなかったから。ああ、でも前にもこんなことがあったような。
Think back to when I first met her. She was...
ええ、こんな出来事ならたくさんありました。きっと数えきれないぐらい。
Oh, that's her saying that wasn't the first time we met. She replies with a sincere smile. It's after school now. I didn't suffer from any Remake episodes today. The remainder of the afternoon passed peacefully, at least as far as I was concerned. However, a novel virus spread like wildfire through the class, and up until a moment ago, the atmosphere in here was heavy with unrest. Girls have dubbed it I remember all this. Ew, I definitely don't want to talk to her. I hate you. What am I supposed to ask here? I think it's I decide not to think about it. Oh, I actually asked last time. Interesting. Cast my eyes down at the ground as if to look away from the ominous premonition. This is fine. It's Better not to ask unnecessary questions. The less you know, the better. Unpleasant news would only serve to aggravate the scar on my chest. Ew, I hate her. Stop looking at us. She smirks as though she can see right through my cowardice and leaves. I leave the school. The left side of my neck hurts slightly, almost as if it were scratched by someone or something. I don't have anything to do, so I go straight home. And we did that one last time. I think I'll just finish up the second day. Anytime. Hello. Change the common sense. Oh yeah, I remember. Someone stops me in my tracks. Still slightly dizzy, but I return to my senses. I don't know what's going on. Why did I come here? Why was I trying to continue to the depths?
すみません。100円持ってませんか?
This is the girl who was on the train. And I don't remember a lot of it, so I'll just play through it. When I turn around, I see an unfamiliar girl in front of the vending machine. She's standing there in a way that screams, I've been trying to buy some juice, but I'm stuck without any change. Perhaps because I felt guilty about trying to go deeper into the alleyway, I just go with the flow and hand over some yen.
どうも。助かりました。
She inserts the 100 yen into the machine and presses the button. She packs up the can spat out by the machine, or picks up. She frowns, looking disappointed.
こんな時間に散歩とか、のんきですね。お家の人、待ってるんじゃないですか?
Ah.
Look at my phone. Clock mercilessly reports at 7:40. Oh, I only have 20 minutes before curfew. Panicking, I start to dash out of the alleyway, but then
待ってください。
she stops me again.
何？悪いけど急いで。
She throws a can of juice at me. Flustered, I manage to catch it, but isn't this the one she bought?
それ、あげます。
なんで？
どれも飲めない味でした。
Sounding displeased, she briskly walks past me.
いや、呆れてる場合じゃない。
Need to get a move on. I remember this. Interesting. I don't know why she did that. I don't know what that character is, what her motive. I don't know anything about her. I visit Akiha. Oh. I guess I did that last time. Ew, this guy. I don't like you. I don't like you. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ah woo. I wonder what this wolf thing was. Oh, ew, I forgot. I completely forgot about this. This is this soon? I thought this is like way later. Did we ever find out who this person was? A dissolving dog. Was this ever explained? Because this doesn't have to do with vampires, does it? I'm so confused. What is that? Bro, I don't know. A blade. Oh my god, leave the puppy alone. This is so weird. I still don't know what's happening. I mean, maybe the wolf is like a creature. Long coat, so probably Blob. Oh, you think so? If that's Blob, Why is Blob hurting the puppy? Is the puppy like what, like, you know how Shiki has those spider creatures? Maybe it's something like that. Weird. Well, yes, I would like to save. Inversion impulse. I said I was gonna do one more scene, but I'm gonna do another one. Because it'd be weird to, like, end after just skipping a bunch, right? Gotta get to another scene. You know what's funny? On the guide, it says, say hello to Akihabara. Who is Akihabara? Alright, I'm assuming they mean Akiha, right? Girl, I don't know. Akihabara. That's not anyway. Does that mean both, maybe? Hold on. How to say both in Japanese? Ryoho. So not Akihabara. Hold on, let me... Akihabara. Meaning... That's a place in Tokyo. That's what I thought. We got theories for strange black animals that appear since neither Blob nor Roa has much to do with animals as we've seen. Oh right, there was also that like panther, right? Bro, I don't even know. Anyways, Akihabara is a place. I remember that. I'm gonna assume they mean Akiha.
Yeah. Ohayo, Akiha.
I decided to greet her first.
おはようございます、兄さん。挨拶に覇気が見られませんが、昨夜はきちんと眠れましたか？今にも倒れそうな顔をしていますが。
あいにくこれが地顔だよ。朝から覇気に満ちた挨拶とか。
Ignoring what happened last night for the moment, I'd appreciate it if she didn't label me as a delinquent night owl off the back of a single greeting.
おはようございます、四季さん。朝食でしたら食堂でお出しいたしますので、いつでもお声掛けくださいね。
Why is it getting whiter and blurrier? Kohaku's soothing comfort provides a stark contrast. They may as well be the north wind and sun.
ありがとうございます。でも、アキハはもう済ませたのか？見たところ食後のお茶みたいだけど。
当然です。兄さんがどんな時間に起床しようと構いませんが、せめて朝食ぐらいは余裕を持って済ませてください。7時を過ぎて朝食をとるなんて、たるんでいる証拠です。
After 7? Sheesh. Granted, they do have school. What, 8? I have to fight to stop myself from pointing out that eating around 7 is perfectly normal. Then again, there isn't a damn thing that's normal about this house.
そういうアキハは何時に起きるんだよ。
5時には起床しますけど。
Oh my god.
何か？
No, thank you.
すみません。参りました。
Seeing her act like that unthinkably abnormal answer is par for the course. Okay, I can't read. Seeing her act like that unthinkably abnormal answer is par for the course has taken some of the wind out of my sails. I've never heard such a perfect response.
参りましたとは何に対してですか？
いや、なんでも。にしても、そんな早くに起きてどうするんだ？遅刻対策か？
ですね、よほどのトラブルがない限り時間に遅れるなんてことはありません。兄さんの学校はここから徒歩で30分ほどなんでしょ？そう遠くない場所なんですから、遅刻なんかしないでくださいね。
Geez, she's prickly as ever. Fortunately, everything she said was also right, so I don't really have any room to argue back. It's only natural for her to be concerned about the reputation of the Tono family. In fact, as the family head, she's obligated to do so.
はいはい。成績はともかく、遅刻はしないよう心がけるよ。夜更かしも。
Mid-sentence, I remember what happened last night. I'm not the type to stay up late, but if something keeps me up all night, it's all the same in the end.
なあ、アキハ。昨日の夜のことだけど、ここって毎晩ああなのか？
はい。
だから、昨日の夜の話だ。あれじゃアキハたちだって眠れなかっただろ。
昨夜はきちんと熟睡できましたけど、何の話でしょう？
何の話かって、犬の話に決まってるだろ。夜の11時頃、野犬が吠えっぱなしだったじゃないか。
Akiha and Kohaku exchange glances and stare at me with a concerned look in their eyes. I can't believe it. They're acting like I'm some sort of somnambulist. Jesus. What does that mean?
アキハには聞かない。
Somnambulist? What the fuck?
琥珀さん、昨日の夜はうるさかったよね。
どうなんでしょうか。確かに昨夜は風が強かったとは思いますけど、深夜の見回りで発見した異常は四季さんが制服のままベッドの上で眠っていらしたことぐらいですよ。
ああ、それですか。
何かあったの、琥珀？いえ、別に何もありませんでしたよ。ちょっと四季さんの寝相が悪かったという。
With a smile on her face, she dodges her question.
本当に二人とも気がつかなかったのか？昨日の夜30分ぐらい外で野犬が吠えてたのに。ワンワンワンワン、そりゃうるさいったらなかった。
わわわわ。
はあ、それはワンワンパニックですね。
Can't quite tell by her reaction whether she believes me or not.
まあ、わかりやすく言うとそういうこと。
私はそんな覚えはありませんけど、琥珀もないでしょ？そうですね。四季さんには申し訳ないのですが、そのようなことはなかったと思います。決まりね。あと考えられるケースといったら、兄さんは犬に吠えられる夢でも見ていた。
Now that both of them have denied it, I'm no longer so sure about it myself. Thinking back on it, it doesn't make any sense that I'd be able to hear howling. There weren't any dogs outside in the street. Pretty sure there was nobody in the street. I'm starting to believe that what they said is true. Maybe it really was a dream.
兄さんはまだ屋敷に慣れていないから、そんなたちの悪い夢を見たんでしょう。
What was that?
そうですね。今夜も野犬に吠えられるようでしたら。
A sadistic smile plays across her lips.
私は時間ですので、お先に失礼します。兄さん、登校中に犬に襲われないよう気をつけてくださいね。
She gracefully leaves the room. After giving me a small bow, Kohaku also leaves the living room in order to go see her master off. Well then. Okay, I think I'm gonna pause here then. I mean, still lots of mysteries. That's kind of how these types of games go, though. At least, I mean, by types of games, I just mean my experience with Fate. So I'm sure there's still a lot more we're gonna learn about this universe through this playthrough. But maybe, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go, what's gonna happen, but, pretty peaceful so far. It is just the beginning though, so I believe it is on day 5 that we transfer from the beginning to Seal's official route. So I think that's when shit's gonna start to hit the fan. I don't know for sure though. I mean, I definitely don't hate Seal. She can be cute at times. I'm still very suspicious of her. but we shall see. Thank you guys for... Oh, I just hit my arm. Thank you guys for watching. Another quick reminder to go vote in the poll I have in my... either in my Discord or the community tab on my YouTube if you haven't done so already and you're interested. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day or night. And I'll see you guys next time. I might be able to stream tomorrow as well. I'm gonna see how I'm feeling. I think there's gonna be plumbers tomorrow coming in and ripping it through my apartment, so I might get a little too tuckered out after that. But I don't know. I do have work tomorrow, but we will see. Yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys next time. So, bye bye.